The following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We are celebrating Black Music Month for the month of June. We have the best of the best with us on today. Miss Maysa Leak, national jazz recording artist. Also Darryl Anders, bassist, producer of Agapesoul. Hello to both of you.
Hello, Kim.
Hello, how's it going?
How's it going today? Maysa, we have one person that loves you like life itself, including myself and Darryl too. She says to you, I have loved her since Incognito. All up and through her playlist is Maysa. That's Diane Patterson, my executive producer. So she puts everything together. She makes me look good, and she's the one to tell Maysa that on today. Maysa and Darryl, thank you for the opportunity, first of all. Thank you, first of all,
Thanks
about
for
Black
having us.
music. You all are the first for us for Black music, and we wanted to do a series of it. We want to represent it, especially after COVID. We want to tell people where you are, what you're doing, and things like that, because this is a new for all of us, our new normal, right? So this is how we're starting everything. Maysa, starting with you, lady, Baltimore native. Let's start. And how did you get started in music?
Wow, I started I started when I was a little kid. My mom took me to see Pearlie when I was really young. And when Melba Moore came out on stage, I knew that that's what I wanted to do the rest of my life. And so from that point on, I was hyper-focused on being a singer. And so I went through high school, junior high school, elementary school the whole time in choirs and singing in talent shows and all that stuff, trying to prepare myself. Then I got to Morgan State University. I was on the Morgan State University choir under the direction of Dr. Nathan Carter. And we toured a lot. Went to Africa, East Africa for a whole month. And just being on the choir was a great experience as far as getting me prepared for the music industry. My degree is in classical performance. So I was supposed to be an opera singer, but I wanted to sing jazz music, and so that's why I'm a jazz singer. After leaving Morgan, my last year at Morgan, my best friend Kim Brewer was already singing with Stevie Wonder. And when they came to Morgan to do a concert to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, Kim asked Stevie if I could audition because they were looking for an alto voice. And so I did, and I passed the audition. That very day was the audition. It was scary. It was the most amazingly scary audition of my life, but I passed it. But I was scared because I passed the audition. That meant I had to go right to California. And I wasn't ready because I had 1 year left at Morgan. So I asked Stevie if I could please just finish my degree and then come to California. Well, such a nice man. He's like, absolutely, just let me know when you graduate and we'll bring you out to LA. He did. But a year later, in February of 1991, I moved to LA, and I was able to do the Jungle Fever project with him, the soundtrack. That was my first big professional gig, was singing background on that album. And from there, when I was doing other gigs with other producers in LA, I happened to work with a producer named Steve Harvey, who is he's a drummer from Scotland. And Steve called me one day and he said, Maysa, my best friend is looking for a new singer for his band in England called Incognito. And he said, do you want to audition? And I was like, okay, yeah, you're sure. I just didn't want to go back to Baltimore. I was like, I'll do whatever. Right. Yeah, let me just, because I wanted to keep going, And so one day I came off from work because I was working a regular job. Stevie had gone on a big Brazilian tour and I wasn't too new to go on that tour. So I was working at the maid company, doing like different jobs, the warehouse out there in LA. And Louis called me. He called my phone. And he said, Maysa, can you sing a little bit for me? What kind of music do you like? We talked about music. I talked about Rufus and Shaka Khan, the Earth, Wind and Fire, and the Commodores, like all kind of music that I grew up on. And he's like, wow, okay. And so he said, can you sing for me? And I did. And I sang Don't You Worry About a Thing. And the next morning, his manager called me and said, well, Maysa, we're not going to look for anybody else. You got the gig, so we're going to bring you to England. And that's what they did. They flew me to England, I think 2 weeks later. And I lived there for 4.5 years, recorded the album Tribes, Vibes, and Scribes and Deep Waters on the Positivity album.
Right.
And all those songs. And while I was with Incognito, we were on tour at the North Sea Jazz Festival. And we had a big show, 18,000 people. And after the show, I was walking down this ramp to go to the dressing room. And this man walked up to me and he said, hi, my name is Carl Griffin. I'm the VP of A&R at GRP Records. And I want to know if you're ready for your solo career. And I was like, okay. I was like, wow, okay, this is that easy. It is amazing. So, so then he called me, went to New York and signed my deal with GRP Records. And that's when I did my first solo album in 1995. And I've been, now I'm working on album number 14.
Oh my God, look at that. Jump right in, Mr. Darryl. How did you get started? You're the bassist, you're a producer, songwriter of Agapesoul. Let's talk about it.
I've been playing music since I was in the third grade. I played trumpet in elementary and junior high school, and I switched to bass in the ninth grade. But I grew up listening to and playing music. My family was pretty musical. My dad was a choir director and a band director, so there was music always in the house, and it kind of got in my blood. So when I was 18, I joined the Air Force and I was stationed in Japan. And while I was there, I played in a jazz club there like 6 nights a week. And that kind of opened my mind up to jazz because I grew up mostly listening to R&B and soul and, kind of the same stuff Maysa listened to, Earth, Wind and Fire. And, I heard the Brothers Johnson in 1976 and that pretty much changed my life. But fast forward, I got out of the Air Force. I moved to the Bay Area. I played in a bunch of different bands here. Got to work with some incredible musicians. As a sideman for years and years, I worked with Zigaboo Modeliste from the Meters for 10 years. I played on a couple of his records. Played with Joyce Cooling, with Peter Horvath, but just different jazz and R&B artists. And at some point, I think in the mid 90s, I was in a band here called Cleveland Lounge, and a friend of mine sent me the tape, and the singer was Zoe Ellis. And 4 bars into it, I heard Zoe, and I'm like, "You got your bass player." I kind of fell in love with her voice, and we worked in that band, and we did a bunch of different projects. We played in each other's bands for years, and she was one of the people that said, "You got this box full of cassettes of all these songs that you've written. You should do something with them." So I recorded some of those songs in order to make a demo tape, and that demo tape turned into the first Agapesoul record.
Wow.
And it's just been going ever since.
Absolutely. I
So
love
we're
the
on
name
number 3 now.
Agape that you have. Agape. God's unconditional love. Why so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And,
Why
it,
that
and
name?
it's just because, well, agape represents, the positivity that I try to bring to in all my music, and soul represents the type of music that I like. So I fuse those two words together to kind of create something that represents what I want to do in music. The goal is to always make people feel better when they leave than when they got there, and hopefully when people listen to my music that they feel something. I don't want to dictate what they feel, but I
Right.
hope that they feel something, and hopefully it's positive and uplifting.
Sounds good. Let's look a
So
video of Maysa. Something happened in 1999 to you. Let's look at it.
Oh, yeah.
This next song we're going to do for you is a song that I wrote for my son Jazz. In 1999, I was on tour with Incognito. We were in Osaka, Japan. I was 6 months pregnant, and I was on stage when my water broke. Oh yeah. I gave birth to my son there. He was only 2 pounds. They told me he wouldn't survive. But by the grace of God, my son is now 17 years old. In his last year of high school, has a beautiful girlfriend and wants to be a filmmaker. So we are blessed, very blessed. When I was in the hospital bed, I didn't understand what was going on with me. I was so far away from my family, and Incognito had to go to Tokyo to finish the last week of shows. So I was there by myself in Osaka, Japan, couldn't speak the language, and I just had emergency surgery to have a baby. It was probably the most terrifying and most beautiful times of my life. When I was in the hospital bed, across my mind kept coming these words like ticker tape over and over and over again. I think I was losing my mind, but I got it back somehow. I knew my baby was coming, but he still came out of the blue. I would pray that you would come my way. Was feeling weak, but I stay strong. Strong enough just to hold on to. Witness the answer to my prayers. And like a bolt of baby, out of the blue into my heart. Wasn't expecting you so soon. But I'm so glad you're here in my life now. It's gonna be alright. Out of the blue, straight from my dreams. My selfish love is what you bring. Boy, I'm so glad you're here in my life now.
Wow. That is something. You say, yeah, your message is you do not want anyone else to go through this at all, ever in their lives.
Oh, I know. To be a preemie mom was a devastating, but it turned out, my son is now he's 21, just graduated from college, and
yes,
he's doing really well. So, he's studying photography and filmmaking, and he's working, and he's doing his thing, and about to go to do 2 more years to get his bachelor's degree too. So it's just it's just been a wonderful experience. Just my baby is just he's a grown man now, so it's been amazing.
Okay, so world, she's being very modest. I read it. For 2.5 months, your baby was in Japan and you weren't there. You had to come back. Let's talk about that for ladies, that women that are in music, that may happen. It may happen to someone.
It's difficult. I mean, thank God I had my mother to help raise my son while I was on the road. But we had a lot of separation anxiety. Thank God for FaceTiming and all this stuff, and the cell phones and all that stuff. I was able to talk to him a lot more than I would have previous to 1999. So, so I'm glad I had him at the right time, kind of, sort of, too. But also, I took my son a lot on the road with me, which got me in trouble with the 2 officers here in Baltimore, Maryland here. They literally were about to arrest me. My attorney got me out of it. So I just wanted to take him. He wanted to come with me. And it's hard when your baby is saying, "Mommy, don't leave me," that kind of thing. What am I supposed to do? I just put him, and plus I had, Southwest is wonderful. I get my companion pass, so he was free, and I was like, "Hey, let's go."
Oh my God, that is so sweet. Darryl is doing some music. Let's see him in action, Mr. Darryl.
No lie, I traveled through a storm.
That's him in action. Look at that. Look at that. So, to both of you, starting with you, Darryl, we know, and we talked about this a little bit, there's creativity in music up front, 10% of it. But there's 90% of the the business side of it, right? Many of us don't get the business side. We lose out, especially during COVID. We saw that because the end of February, the beginning of March, all tours stopped, all venues closed. Whatever you were doing, you were stopping at that time. And many people were full time, but when that stopped, their money stopped. They didn't have all
Yeah.
the royalties, they didn't have their credits, they didn't have, they weren't set up with BMI or ASCAP or whatever. They just were not prepared. No one was. Who would have known? Let's talk about that, Darryl, starting with you, with that information. What do you think in telling someone new, starting over, because this is our new normal, what do they need to do on the business
Well,
side? They've got the creativity.
the first thing you need to learn as much as you can about the business.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a songwriter, make sure that you have your publishing and all that stuff intact. Don't wait until you think you have a hit record. Just do it. I mean, I was fortunate enough that I had people older than me to say, hey, make sure your business is on point. So
Mm-hmm.
before I ever thought about making records, I had that taken care of. Um, and you want to make sure that you surround yourself with people that know the business and also people that you can trust. I mean, that's one of the most difficult parts about the music business is finding people that you can trust. And so I always say that the most important part of the music business is relationships. The most important part of any business really is relationships because you never know what relationship is going to come to be the thing that moves the needle for you.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with a group of friends producing music for video games a while ago, and that connection led me to make my first record. I had never thought about making a record, but that led to the connection of making my first record and a whole bunch of other things. So um, just relationships is really key. Be kind to everybody because you never know who that person is that could change your life. That one relationship. Learn the business, and also another important thing is diversify. Try to be as informed about many different styles of music and different parts of the business. I mean, there are lots of things that you can do in music besides playing in a band and making records and touring. You can make music for film, you can make music for video games, you can, you know, play in casinos.
Mm-hmm.
There's just all sorts of things. And I've done a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
and everything everything I've done has informed the music that I make as an artist, and you learn from every single um, uh, opportunity. All those
Mm-hmm.
years that I spent in my bedroom, playing incognito tunes, and one day I got Maysa Leak singing on my record. I mean, that's
Right.
that's amazing to me.
Absolutely. I
But
agree with that.
those relationships and those connections, came full circle to make that happen.
Absolutely. I'm
And most
glad you.
importantly, God is in control of everything. So
Yes,
it
yes,
doesn't
yes.
matter how much I do or don't do. Without God in the mix, none of it would happen.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned that. And you being a bassist and also a producer, getting your credits. A lot of people are on records or they're, part of a record, but they're not credited. They don't have the credit for it.
Hmm.
And let's speak to them about that, of how they get their credits.
Well, I mean, that's part of the business thing. I mean, you want to make sure that you are acknowledged for the work that you do,
Mm-hmm.
um, and especially if you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're writing and contributing to the music, you want to make sure that you get your publishing and your writing credits, um, because it makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
I will say for myself, it's not. I make music because I want to create something positive for the world. So my end goal is not to be rich or famous. You
Mm-hmm.
know, my end goal is to touch people's hearts and create something positive and good. And if if it takes off and I make some money, that's a bonus. But that's I don't make music with that being the primary reason. However, you got to have your business together.
You
You
do.
know, you gotta communicate and just learn as much as you can. You know, get books. I bought a book many years ago about the craft. It's called The Craft and Business of Songwriting,
Mm.
and it talks about publishing and how to go about getting your songs placed and all these different things. So the more information you have, the better. Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Miss Mesa, jump right in here and let's talk about that, especially to women. A lot of women that are in business, many times they're in this business, they don't know about contracting, they don't know who to trust either. Not
Right,
because men wouldn't, but I'm just saying women also. So
right.
let's talk to them about the business side of it.
Well, for business for everybody, was especially for new people coming up. My what we have to do now uh, is to kind of what's important is to own yourself
Right.
right now at this point,
Yes.
to own your own music, own your own publishing, own your everything. Because I mean, there are people that still record deals available out there in the world, of course, but to not have someone own you is probably the order of the day as far as I'm concerned. I started my record label in 2018 after being frustrated with how my music was being handled previously. So I thought, I'll do the best I can on my own, and what's helped me with that is social media. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody started now has to have a strong social media game. That's how you have to start out. And these kids are out here, like
Yes.
little Nas X, he started out with social media, selling records out of his trunk. I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, you have to start there, and then you'll get noticed because now record companies are looking for your numbers on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and all these different, Twitch and all that kind of stuff. They want to
Absolutely.
see what kind of
Yes.
on there before they even hire you. So my thing was that first of all, be an individual, be an original as much as you can. Don't try to be like anybody else. We don't need
Mm-hmm.
another Beyonce. We don't need another, Nas X, whatever his name is. We don't need another one of those people. So we need you to be who you are
Yeah.
and bring your gift to the world
Mm-hmm.
and shine in your light. And then after that, you get a good social media game going. Then after that, you find a very good attorney to help you
Very good.
read through your contracts and help you do all these different things you got to do. And then you surround yourself with people who have like minds, people who are positive,
Mm-hmm.
people who are not wallowing in negativity and drugs and drinking and doing things that they think the industry, what they think is fun in the industry. You don't want to hang around people like that. You want to hang around people who are hardworking, people who are conscientious, people who uh, have a goal, a real true goal. And that's the only way I think I've been blessed because I have surrounded myself with great people. Even with my running my own company, I'm a bit overwhelmed because I do everything myself. I package like I run my store and I pack everything myself and I send it myself and so it takes a lot. It's a lot during the day and I can't always keep up with everything. But for the most part, the joy in it is that I get all the money in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I get all of it. So that legacy
Yep.
that I leave for my son and for
Yes.
my future grandkids and for other kids in my family that when I leave this earth, they'll have money coming to them forever, and that's my
Right.
goal.
Right. I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I'm so glad you spoke about your record label, Blue Velvet Soul Records. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why that name?
Because my album that I got nominated for a Grammy with Nancy Wilson's song "Quiet Fire," the album is called Blue Velvet Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And my best friend Kim, who introduced me to Stevie, she said my voice sounded like Blue Velvet Soul to her.
Yes.
So that's why we named the album that, and that's why I continue to name my company that.
And your music is so timeless, lady. Why so? Why do you think?
Because I focus on great lyrics and I focus on melodies that kind of invade in a sense, for lack of a better word, invade your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you come from the heart, and I know that I'm a child of God, and I know that God gave me this gift to share and help people to make them feel better. Not for me to be a superstar and egotistical and have super bodyguards, people can't talk to me and all that kind of stuff. That was never my intention and never my walk. So I know that I'm just supposed to relay this gift that God gave me to other people to help them. And I think I think because I've stayed on that path, that's how I've been able to stay in the game so long. But I think, and that's one of, when I do get the funding to hire and to sign artists, they have to have the same mentality. Because what my record company is going to do for them is that once I make my money back and a small profit, whatever that's going to be, I'm going to turn over their rights immediately to them, to their albums. They will be the owners of their own masters very soon. Not 20 years, not 30 years, not even 10 years. It's going to be as soon as I make my money back.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. We're going to do this. We'll take a break on the Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, family, we are back. We are back with Darryl Anders and Maysa. Darryl, how did you guys meet, you and Maysa?
We met a couple years ago. We were going to work on another song, and I think Maysa lost her voice in the studio, but we kind of hit it off on that first meeting, and I really wanted to, continue fostering that relationship. So when Nobody But You came together, I sent it to her, and she loved the song, and it worked out really well.
Let's do this. Let's look at the video real quick of Nobody But You.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard a rumor going round about me. People saying that I wanna be free, but it just ain't true. I don't love nobody but you. People are talking, they're wasting their time, making their business what's yours and mine. They got nothing else to do, 'cause they don't love.
Okay, that is good. Miss Maysa, how did you decide to get on this project?
Well, the first time Darryl sent me a text and he said, I got a song, can you take a listen to it? And I was like, sure. And when I turned it on, I was in the car with my 2 of my best friends, and we were driving, going to the casino or something. And we listened to the song, And we were like, whoa, what? So we were so in love with the singer, Sarah, who sang the song. She's singing, right? Sarah, she sang the song.
Hmm.
Whoever singing the demo, she just killed it. We were like, I was like, I don't know if I can sing this now. It's like, this girl's singing the heck out of this song. But I love the song so much. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to try it. I was very intimidated, but I'm gonna be honest with you, trying to get the vocal right on this song because it was just such a great vocal when I heard the demo. So I was just, but I love the song, I love the lyrics, I love the beat. I haven't done anything kind of that kind of bluesy type vibe, and so I was excited to do that. And so it just came together really nicely.
Well, I will tell you guys, both of you all, that I've been trying to practice dancing off of that one.
Okay.
Because it's
I heard a
dance
lot of Steph has
music.
been talking about it.
It's
Yeah.
swinging out. It's, it's
Uh-huh.
stepping. Chicago stepping.
Uh-huh.
It's swing out. It's line
Yeah.
dancing. I had another girl said she
Yeah.
wanted to learn how to do a line dance. I said, wow, it makes you want to just get out of the car and just dance.
Uh-huh.
It's just one
It's
of
a
those
feel good
songs.
song for
It's
sure.
a feel
It
good
is feel good.
song. It is. Darryl, where did you come up with this one?
Mm-hmm.
This song, it started out, I wrote it a long time ago, and the original version of it, and it sat in the shoebox for years and years. And uh, I I brought it out to my friend Sandra Manning, who's a great singer, I mean, a great keyboard player and songwriter, and she flipped the groove of the song and kind of changed the feel of it. And it made it feel so good that I kind of rewrote the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just thought about, my wife and how,
Yeah.
she's the only person I want to be around.
Yeah.
And it's not that kind of fairy tale, you know, love is just, it's just that every day she's my favorite person. It's the simple things that we do in life that bring us joy. And I wanted to write a song to celebrate that kind of romance because I think people get a skewed version of what real love is about. So I wanted to write about grown up, you know, grown people love.
Right.
We've been through some stuff. We've
Yeah.
experienced some stuff, and we appreciate the beauty and the simplicity of somebody that's got your back.
Absolutely.
There's nothing I can't do because I got somebody that believes in me and what I'm doing.
That's so
And I got to
cute.
say that Maysa sang the crap out of the song.
She sang it. I'm telling you,
She
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 sang that
talked
song.
about being intimidated when I'm having to produce a vocal with one of my favorite singers in the world. I'm like, how can I tell Mesa what to do? It just doesn't make sense. But she was so gracious and so beautiful to work with. I thank God every day for her and for putting us together to make this song. So thank
Well,
you, Mesa.
well, Maysa, I
Thank you.
tell you, you did not seem intimidated by no means. You sang that song.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It makes you feel good, that song. It just takes you to another level. It makes you know that it's your best friend, somebody you love, somebody
Hmm.
you care about, and it's an everyday life care. It's not,
Yeah.
it's, how we have the wedding and everybody is
Yeah.
fairy taled and everything, but this just shows you that it's daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a daily
Daily
one.
effort. I just wait, but I think the song resonates with me because I want to feel that with someone. And I haven't had, I've been in relationships and been in love and all that kind of stuff. And most people have heard my breakup songs, but for the most part, I want to feel that, that kind of love from somebody. I've been waiting a long time for that. So hopefully that's coming soon. So
It,
the song inspires me. It's like I listen to it a lot, and I try to it helps me to think about how to manifest and hopefully, pray for and wait for whoever, my Prince Charming, whoever you.
I love
It's
that.
coming.
It's coming, lady. It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming. But you have some great songs that are out, lady, that people want me to really hit on. But it's a few of them are renditions of others. Send for Me,
Okay.
Atlantic Star.
Oh wow.
People have been singing Send for Me and just, Cam, you got to ask about that one. Where did that come from that you would remake that one? Why so?
I was just doing. I've done three covers albums. The first one was Sweet Classic Soul. The second one was Feel the Fire, and the third one, Love Is a Battlefield. And so I just choose songs that I, grew up listening to, or just happen to love. Like even on Love Is a Battlefield, I redid Justin Bieber's "As Long as You Love Me," and people are like, well, why would you want to do that song? Like, what do you know about Justin Bieber? Like, well, I had nieces, and they worried me deaf about this man. I listen to his music. And that's one song that, of course, resonates with me lyrically. As long as you love me, we can be homeless, we can be, whatever, we can be broke, whatever. And I just like, that's just a great lyric, and a melody together. So I just wanted to redo that song, almost as a surprise for my nieces too. And also, one of my nieces was one of his big followers. He would acknowledge her and stuff. And so she said no. So I haven't heard from him, but I know he heard it. That's one thing.
You
So
did
that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. You did another one, Love is a Battlefield. That was really a mantra. You really did. Everybody needs to look at that video. They need to really look at that song and really kind of understand, where did that one come from? Where did you, including the video?
Well,
why so?
Well, the song, I mean, the sentiment came because I wanted to. It was for political reasons. We were all going through such craziness in our last 5 years. And so I wanted to kind of express that, love is worth fighting for. So I know Pat Benatar and the writers had maybe a different, they were going a different direction with it, but I thought lyrically it still could take us to the same place, that we should fight for love. And there are more people who are loving in this world than there are the hateful ones. And the loving ones, of course, they outweigh the hateful ones. So we have to band together and make this world what we want it to be. So that's why I slowed it down. And that's, the writers of the song said, they emailed me and said, thank you for doing it as we wrote it. That it's written as a ballad in the beginning. Pat Benatar and other people made it a huge, super mega $1,000,000,000,000 rock hit that it was, that it is. But I just wanted to flip it in this original state and do it that way to get the lyrics out there even more and people understand where I was coming from. And it's been a very powerful song in my shows, and we've had a great time with it. So I was honored to be able to sing it.
Absolutely. Mr. Darryl, jump right in here. Let's talk about what have you learned along the way? Probably so much.
Yeah, that's a big question. I've learned to be true to who I am, to believe in myself, to not be afraid to ask for what you want, and to just go for it. I mean, I believe that no one will invest, as an artist, no one will invest in you if you don't invest in yourself first. So
yes,
I have, made the sacrifices to make the music that I make and to make it the way I want to. I'm glad I don't have a record label, because I get to do what's really in my heart and make it the way I want to, and that works for me. I've learned I'm a bit of a control freak. I wasn't aware of that. My wife is probably going, duh, but you have to be in control of your dream, because nobody else can interpret what's in your head or in your heart. So
absolutely. I love that. COVID hit, Mr. Darryl, coming back to you. And once it hit, we were talking about the fact of February and then, the beginning of March. And then so many people, unfortunately, were losing things. Many from music, artists to, basketball players, football players, whoever they might be, because of course, you no longer have your income. Many were living check to check, even though you're thinking some people at $200,000 check or, $50,000, $1 million check, but they were living check to check, 6 to 7 cars, you've got so many houses, you've got, all of these different expenses that you have to pay, right? Just going through, looking at COVID, what were you experiencing, or what did you see like that?
well, first of all, I was incredibly blessed that my wife and I were able to work from home you know, with my day job. So we were able to sustain our family and you know help some other people along the way. I saw a lot of friends who had to make decisions about you know how they're going to continue to survive or pay their mortgage or their rent or their car payment.
Right.
Um, um, I made a bold decision to try to make music in the midst of COVID, which as I was doing it, I thought was insane, but it worked out. But it also gave me something to focus on because you know in the middle of COVID, we're also dealing with a really intense socio-political situation, and making music gave me relief, it gave me peace. It forced me to find different ways to make music. You know, obviously things had to be done remotely, and the technology exists for us to be able to do that, which was helpful. And um, I got to work with some really incredible people because no one was touring, no one was busy, so it was kind of a blank slate. Everybody was open. It's like, hey, do you want to work on this song? Do you want to play on this song? And people that I may not have had access to before were right there. So um, I was incredibly blessed through this whole thing, and um, I that's a point that's not lost on me because not everybody had that situation, and hopefully I was able to help some other people along the way.
Sounds good. Let's do this. We'll take a break and we'll be right back on the Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
I didn't want her to start talking.
The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey family, we are back. We're talking to Maysa and Mr. Darryl Anders. Maysa, for you, we were just talking to Mr. Darryl about COVID. What happened? What did you see in COVID? And what was happening to other artists that you might have seen or talked to?
Well, it hit so suddenly. I was doing a concert on March 12th, and after the concert, I was getting calls back to back saying you got to go to the store, that they're going to shut down all the stores. I'm like, what is going on? So went to the store, and there was no food in the store. It was like a movie. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on. And then the next 2 days later, I was supposed to go on the Smooth Jazz Cruise, the second part of the Smooth Jazz Cruise, and they hadn't canceled it. So I packed that morning, and everybody was like, people called me from all over the country, like, please don't get on that boat. Please don't get on that boat. You're not going to come back. Like, they're going to hold you out in the ocean forever. And all that. I was like, I got to go. Like, and then at noon, they put the money in my account, and I was like, I got to go. So 4 p.m., I was at the door of my luggage. And that's when we got the call saying they canceled the whole thing. So I was able to, I was like blessed that they had just paid me, so I was able to survive a little while on that money.
Right.
So because I didn't know what to do, everything was canceled back to back. Everything, it was like every day there was more shows canceled, and then so we went into a little bit of a panic. And then I was able to get some unemployment. I've been on unemployment since this started, which is going to end pretty soon. And also on Sunday nights, I do something called Maysa's Kitchen Karaoke Sundays,
Yes.
where I sing with people at 7:30 p.m. It started off 5 years ago. It was just for me, just to give back to everybody who supported me all these years. And when the pandemic hit, I got a lot of phone calls from my colleagues in the music industry saying like, okay, what do I do? Because I got to find a way to connect with everybody. And that's the first time I ever put up my Cash App because that's what everybody was doing, and that was the way to help to get some income coming in. And people were very generous and very sweet to me. So that's even though I didn't want to, I ended up doing it, and that's helped sustain me also throughout this time, and also doing online concerts, little things for like sororities and things like that. Just doing some online shows have helped also too. So a lot of my friends, I mean, we just didn't know. We just had to kind of jump into this mode of
Right.
doing everything online. We had to figure it out, and so it was like the learning curve was like really steep, really amazing. You had to really learn on your feet. I mean, luckily I've already been doing this, so I was cool. I was able to get and keep going.
Absolutely.
So it's a blessing. I mean, this whole thing is so surreal because I wish there hadn't been any deaths from this COVID thing. That's the most devastating thing. The sickness and the death from all of this has been absolutely awful. And so, but it's like it kind of shut the world down and made everybody think a little bit more. It made everybody kind
Yeah.
of like figure out your life and to kind of appreciate what you did have and what you have had all this time. So kind of reset everything, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For both of you all, I'm so glad that you all just took the time and just sitting here and let's talking, let other people see what's going on. Just the
Thank
world,
you.
right? Just seeing how
Yeah.
just coming from a year ago, right? And looking at
Yeah.
what happened, how the world completely just shut completely down, and now we have a new normal. We don't. Some don't wear the mask. Some wear them. We still gotta wear them in some stores. Still gotta wear them in the others. I've bought so many because I've got. But clothes, I gotta wear them.
Yeah.
So it's just got to the point, and then we reconnect with family, right? Many husbands didn't know the wives anyway. They said, "Hey, oh, that's you."
Okay. Okay.
So
That's
just
right.
reconnecting with family, reconnecting with friends. Mr. Darryl, take us out and let us talk about what would you like to leave with the viewers?
I hope that when people listen to um, music, whoever they choose to listen to, I hope it brings them some joy. I hope it gives them an escape from their problems, and I hope that nobody but you makes people feel good. I hope it brings them some happiness and peace in their life, and I hope I can continue to contribute something positive in that way through music.
Sounds good. How do we purchase your music?
It's available on iTunes, Spotify, all the major download and streaming services, as well as on my website, agapesoul.com.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Miss Maysa, what would you like to leave with the viewers?
Uh, Thank you for everything you have done to, new or old, to support my music for all these years. And I just want everybody to find happiness. We're here on this earth to enjoy being on this earth. And so I just wish for everybody to find some peace and happiness, and don't let anybody uh, see you sweat. Just don't let anybody hurt you. Just keep going and just be happy. That's all I want for everybody.
Sounds good. How do people purchase your music? And if they're new artists that are out, or just artists, period, that are looking for a label, how do they get in touch with you, your label?
Well, the label thing is probably going to be a few years away, but for right now, as far as I'm the only artist on my label right now.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can go to Maysa.com, Maysa.com, or the Maysastore.com, and you can find out all information about me and buying merchandise, buying music, and all those good stuff. So
And then
it's all
both
there.
of them, you'll see them along the way, especially Maysa online. I look at her, and trust me, she kills it online too. Let's also do a shout out to Sabrina Taylor, the Platinum Agencies that connected us all
Absolutely.
together. Shout out to her.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you both. God bless you. God keep you. Keep going. Keep doing you. We appreciate
Thank you.
everything you do, especially in the music realm. Black Music Series, this is what we're doing for June, but this is 365 days a year. Trust me, you all are killing
Absolutely.
it. Keep going. And just know
Thank
that
you.
we're out here rooting for you, and we appreciate you along the way. Thank you so much. Thank you,
you so much.
family, for looking. The Cam Hill Show, 12:30 to 1:30 Central Standard Time. See you then. Bye.